A massive move is currently brewing for VRA Veracity, and in this video we're going to be having a look at an inverse head and shoulder, a massive bull pennant, and the exponential moving average. If you guys like these videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, turn notification bells on so you guys never miss a video. Let's dive in straight into CoinMarketCap to see where this cryptocurrency can potentially go this week, next week, and the next 5 weeks or so. Having a look on CoinMarketCap, we can see right here that VRA is currently up 6% in the last 24 hours. Volume is up 28% in the last 24 hours. Things are looking good. VRA is currently sitting at a market cap of $67 million with 385,000 people on the watch list. The rank hasn't really changed. Still ranked 353 approximately since the last time we made the video. Let's dive in straight into TradingView on the weekly time frame. So we could see right here, first of all, the whole altcoin market is pretty much bleeding. Bitcoin is a little bit shaky right now, but we're going to be having a look at VRA only. So if we see Veracity, we can see number one, we did break this big trend line a few weeks ago. So that's the number one bullish sign. Quite obvious. Everyone knows this is very old news. Number two, we can see that Veracity right now is currently in a triangle, in a bull pennant. And the question is are we going to make a massive breakout on the weekly time frame? Because we know right here on the daily, when we're going to be zooming in on the daily in just a second, we know that it already broke out. So can we see a massive pump? Now we know that the target for the bull pennant is the top. It's pretty much the pole, the bottom of the of when things started to the top. Now you would put this essentially at the breakout. Now our target is supposed to be at 3 cents. Now 3 cents is currently sitting right here. Okay, so this is obviously a very important area because we do have a resistance right here. Not only do we have one, but we have two. And if we actually drag this resistance all the way back here, we can see that we have another resistance, 3 resistance, and 4 resistance. So this is a number one pattern that can be big on VRA and is not BS. I mean, you could see TA is not BS, right? Now let's have a look at the second pattern. The second pattern would clearly be the inverse head and shoulder. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what an inverse head and shoulder is, I've been talking about this pattern for quite some time. And it's essentially when you have a left shoulder, something that's like a V or a U pattern on the left side, and then a big U or V pattern on the downside in the middle, that would be the head. And then of course, the right shoulder is currently forming right now, as you guys can see. Let me get rid of this triangle and you guys will be able to see it better. So you can see right here that the U is currently forming. All we need is an uptrend on Veracity right here to maybe retest 1 cent in order to have that completion. Now we do usually have a neckline, and this would essentially be the neckline right here. Now this neckline is obviously very important. Not only do we have to break this area right here, but we also have to break this resistance right here. Now this resistance is obviously an important one. We saw resistance right here, we saw some conflict right here, and we saw a lot of conflict right here, 1 week right there, and another week right here. So we got a lot of resistance right here, and we know historically every time we retest a resistance multiple times, it gets weaker and weaker. So things are looking good on VRA on that side, on the inverse head and shoulder. Now another thing that I want to talk about is the volume. Now we know when volume decreases after a pump, that's usually the calm before the storm. Things are looking very good right now on VRA. Things are calm, nothing is crazy. Veracity is currently consolidating. A lot of people are calling VRA a pump and dump. Now how can this be a pump and dump when this pumped almost 500% in a matter of a couple of weeks and then it just stopped right here? Okay, so yeah, we had a 40% correction. Now, do you guys really think after we pump over 450%, we're not going to have some sort of pullback correction? Pullbacks and corrections are healthy, guys. They're very good. And this is exactly what VRA is doing. A pump and dump is when you pump right here and then come back and retest the lower lows right here. Now, of course, this would be a pump and dump. I'm not saying it's not. But when you pump and then consolidate or pull back and then consolidate a little bit, that just means that Veracity is currently brewing for another leg to the upside. Now, we could also be in an Elliott wave pattern. I'm going to get to that in just a second. But if we have a look at the exponential moving average right here, we can see, let's open the logarithmic real quick. We can see that right here, VRA, the last time we opened or went above the exponential moving average on the weekly time frame, we absolutely exploded 7,000%. Now, I'm not saying we're going to explode 7,000%, right? But we know historically that when we do go above the EMA ribbon, it's usually bullish. Now, ever since right here, January 3rd, 2022, that's essentially when we started the bear market, right? The ultimate bear market. We came up, came back up, got rejected one more time right here, and ever since we've just been trending below these EMA ribbons, and now we're in the middle. So right now we're in accumulation neutral region, waiting for the next big move. Now of course, if we fall down below, that's going to be pretty bearish. We're gonna have to see what Bitcoin does, because ultimately at the end of the day, it really depends what Bitcoin does, because if Bitcoin pumps, we're most likely going to see VRA climb above these exponential moving average. But of course, if Bitcoin dumps, we're most likely going to see VRA drop below these EMA ribbons. So these EMA ribbons right here are very important in my honest opinion. Now we know when we are in an uptrend on the EMA ribbons, right? That means Verasity is essentially in a bull market. Now this is when the bull market started pretty much, right? On the altcoins, everything started pumping above the EMA ribbon, boom. We never really closed fully multiple candles below these exponential moving average. This was just a fake out, climb back up, got rejected, boom, came back up until we essentially entered the bear market. So the EMA ribbons on the weekly time frame is a very important region. Now I'm not saying it's going to pump 7,000%, but assuming it does, guys, we can see Verasity go all the way up to 55 cents in the near future. Is that possible? Can we see 2-3 months right here of action, of price action that we saw in the last bull market? Very possible. Now this is not impossible. Is it probable? Maybe not. That case you could argue if it's probable or not. Is it impossible? No, it is not. Definitely impossible. Everything and anything is possible. This is definitely realistic. I mean, we can see VRA right now, $67 million market cap coin. Very realistic in my opinion. I think this can be a 10 billion, even a $15 billion market cap coin. So pumping 70x in my opinion is not crazy. I think it could go 100 to 150x in the next 5 years or so. So that's that on VRA. Things are looking pretty good and pretty smooth. Now if we have a look, of course, on the daily time frame, we're going to be talking about the triangle and the pattern that I'm talking about that we just broke out of. Okay, so first of all, a lot of people were calling this a head and shoulder. Now, I don't like this head and shoulder because the neckline would essentially be right here. Now, we fell below here on the neckline. It's not a real neckline. So this can really be a head and shoulder in my opinion. If this was the neckline, it would be something like that. And we barely even touched it. I mean, this is not really a proper neckline. If you guys look on regular head and shoulders on Google, you will see that it doesn't really look like that. If you look up inverse head and shoulder, you will see that you could actually have a slant on the weekly on the inverse head and shoulder like I showed you guys a few seconds ago. But what I want to show you guys really is this pattern right here. So we can see that Verasity actually just broke a downward trend. So we were in a downward trend since February 15, 2023, and we essentially broke that after a very long time. And we were also in a mini downtrend right here. So we actually had two trends, to be fair. This was the first downtrend, pop back up, had another downtrend, and now we're popping back up. Now we know what happened when we broke this downtrend right here. We essentially exploded right here, approximately 30%. So assuming VRA pumps 30% from here, that would bring VRA right here approximately back to this resistance right here. But of course, that would also confirm a breakout almost in the inverse head and shoulder. But another thing I do want to talk about is this region right here. So this region is obviously a bull flag, and we know right here this is a cross support resistance. And this cross support resistance actually reflects on this one right here. So this is a very important support level right here on VRA. Things overall are looking pretty good. I mean, the fact that we're breaking out of that is looking fresh and good. My target for this is either one, the start of this ascending triangle. Our target should be anywhere between 1.7 to 2 cents. Or of course, you could take the bottom of the pole of the bull flag right here, which would be something like that, and then extend that. You have people who do it a bunch of ways. I mean, it depends if you're a trader and an investor. I know people do it both ways like that. And of course, if you take this, it would essentially bring Verasity back to this level right here, which is a very crucial resistance level that I actually showed on a weekly time frame right here and right here. So all this support resistance, at the end of the day, it all flips to one another and it creates a huge wall. So that is my video, guys, on VRA. If you guys like this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, turn notification bells on, and I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow.